Hi, and welcome to Unlimited. For this new episode of our Unlimited Perspective series, joining us today is Dr. Sana Farid. You've surely heard about VR and AR, but what is the difference between them and how can they really impact our lives? Well, Dr. Sana Farid is a pioneer in X reality and an AI strategist. She's a general surgeon, an avid researcher, and a powerful educational reformer. She's been featured by Forbes, Harvard Business Review, and Entrepreneur Middle East, and listed among the top 100 women transforming the future of Bahrain. She's co-founder and CEO of Munfarid, the fastest growing tech innovation firm in the region, and is extensively supporting both government and non-government initiatives related to strategizing and streamlining artificial intelligence and immersive technologies across various sectors, including healthcare, aviation, education, and public services. Without any further ado, let's welcome Dr. Sana Farid, and let's understand her perspective on how the use of futuristic technologies can make the world a better place. Hi, Dr. Sana, and welcome to Unlimited.
I'm so excited to be with you, Daniela. Thank you for having me.
Before talking about your current roles and mission, tell us about your background, from your education to becoming a surgeon.
I have been fond of science and had a zeal for helping people by improving quality of life. And I found that medicine was meant for me. I'm privileged to be connected with many humans to help them. Being a surgeon is a great responsibility. I continue to expand my knowledge in this field.
What brought you to look beyond your medical career and embrace technology? What was the turning point?
Well, as I entered the realm of my career in medicine, I realized that this field requires extensive training and a lot of practice, and a lot of patience also to interact with patients. Being a surgeon in training, I soon realized that us as individuals in the society, we need to go further than implementing than what is already known. And for me, I really believe that medical profession is literally life-changing, where we welcome our patients and devote our energies to create a healthier society. So I wish to discover potential methodologies that seemed promising to improve the training and development part in the healthcare industry. And for this, immersive technologies was something that instantly interested me. So I kept researching and finding ways how to incorporate modern technology to help with the medical practices. And this is how I learned more and more about artificial intelligence and immersive learning. So it turned out that there are multiple benefits of immersive learning tools, such as helping with the practice, increasing our the timing of our practice, and helping with our confidence level as well.
How and when did you found Munfarid, and what's your key mission with Munfarid?
Munfarid was founded in 2017, and the main idea behind it was to harness technology and break barriers of physical limitations. The main vision and the idea was to be able to reach to maximum number of people. I visualized the ability to connect and to teach and to be able to, as I said, reach to maximum number of people and help them in some way, either with education or with healthcare or with whatever best we can offer. So after months of dedication and hard work, Munfarid today is one of the leaders in immersive technologies especially, and also we are expanding our work in artificial intelligence. We run the biggest immersive learning program across the region, and we are proud to have expanded to even other regions in the past year. We also collaborate with multiple government entities to formulate and design innovation programs in different industries. So further than that, we have focused extensively in developing countries as well, with programs that are focusing on healthcare and education.
Which sectors do you target with Munfarid? What is your audience?
Healthcare, education and corporate training are our major targets today.
Are there any projects that you're particularly proud of?
Well, personally, I greatly pride in impact programs. Such programs that help us to reach where it is more challenging than the conventional ways. For example, developing countries. I will like to mention two of the programs that we have worked really, really hard for in really challenging environments. So, one program was being able to take immersive learning tools to students in developing countries who are literally struggling on daily basis to gain education without even a proper infrastructure. They don't have a proper classroom. Of course, there is no electricity, no air conditioning, but they're eager to learn and improve their own futures. So for them, what we took is that the program was designed very, very carefully and very meticulously to tackle all the challenges of internet and electricity, and without needing any additional infrastructural needs. So it helped us to take those students to immersive journeys across the world. They were able to visit different countries, even outer space and inside the ocean. So that was a very beautiful program. It helped us to open the minds of those young talented kids and show them that there is so much more in the world and there is nothing that is going to stop them. That was one of the most beautiful programs that we have created in education sector. I would also like to mention one very, very important program that I have worked with some of the best healthcare experts with. That was about helping normal people who are not necessarily having a medical background, but teaching them skills on saving lives. Why is that important? Because there's so many people who live in small villages, in close communities, and whenever there is an emergency in your own house or in your own village, probably you're able to save a life. So actually, essentially the program is empowering people in villages, people who could be farmers, housewives, to save a life. For that, they need some skills. They don't necessarily need a university or a college degree. They need some skills to handle the first responder. And this is actually very empowering. Even for the learner, it gives them a great sense of responsibility.
How's your audience responding to technology? Are they always so responsive in embracing technology, or do you find also reluctancy?
Thank you, Daniela. This is a very important question. Often reluctance and hesitance would be most likely the first response that we would get, especially when we're talking about, education or something related to health. People are having their doubts, having their questions, and I think that's very important, because if they are curious, then they would ask the right questions and start believing in the program or the technology or the idea that you are sharing with them. So from the beginning, I have realized that a limited awareness and knowledge was something that was hindering the growth or the progress in this field. So again, I feel very privileged that we have conducted several awareness related programs in collaboration with multiple organizations that included educational institutions, that included healthcare organizations, non-profit organizations, and some of the special needs schools, charity schools. So the idea was basically to educate various levels. That involves educators, teachers, as well as parents and students about the ever-evolving future, ever-evolving lives, and the great impact of technologies. So we taught them how they need to be open-minded and learn carefully about everything new, and then make their minds about what and what not they want to use. So after addressing their questions, their challenges, their doubts, eventually, the program really turns out to be very, very successful.
Very true. We all use technology in every single moment of our daily life, but probably we just take it too much for granted. So how do we go from these examples of how the current technology is used every day to the more futuristic technologies such as virtual reality and augmented reality?
Okay, let me address this question according to our current times. So, time with COVID-19, taught us beyond everything, beyond all the challenges. It has literally, end of the day, it has taught us to unite as one human race and grow by supporting each other. Governments are taking a huge step, maintaining everything. They need to maintain the balance. They're helping the healthcare sector, they're helping the different industries, as well as they're nurturing the new innovative ideas. And virtual reality is just another new thriving technology in the whole group of new fourth industrial revolutionary technologies. What it does that, or in general, what immersive technology does is that it helps us to connect, communicate, and collaborate from a distance while staying safe, hygienic, and within set standards. So it gives us a metaverse of possibilities through which we can build bridges and bring people together in an interconnected, immersive environment where they are. One thing is that they can start by meeting and collaborating with each other, such as what is happening now. Furthermore, they're able to even continue their creative work, work that is related to coming up with a product or designing something or building something together, which initially required us to be in one lab or in one manufacturing unit. Today, we can literally do a lot of these things remotely and safely, which is, one, it is saving time. Secondly, it is giving you the result in front of you so you can modify it as many times as you want. Third of all, if you have a digital file, it's much easier to share it with the senior management, take their opinion, and so on. So we can talk about its benefit in the immersive workspace. Furthermore, it is a great tools when we are talking about, bringing greatest mind together to solve the entanglement of pandemics. Or when we talk about, let's say, training of healthcare professionals who are ready to learn about life-saving equipments and procedures remotely within a short span of time. Right? The important thing here is that the continuity of knowledge sharing and productivity should be maintained despite the physical and logistical challenges.
Are there any examples of virtual reality that go beyond gaming and entertaining?
Yes, definitely. There is much more beyond gaming. So as I always say, technologies, modern technologies, they literally, revamp the way everything works, and eventually they also change the way we live. Right? So with the inception of immersive technologies, some of the major examples include healthcare professionals who are using this for various benefits. One thing is the education and training, where they're able to learn about the human body or a certain disease, or even about a certain equipment or machinery in an immersive way immediately, which is helping them to gain actually hands-on practice. which is an add-on to the bookish knowledge that they're gaining. So once you do something practically with your hand, you tend to remember it better and you tend to excel at it better. And also, more than just the knowledge retention, it helps you to gain confidence whenever you are going actually on the field and using the real machinery or tools, you have already practiced it in a realistic scenario. So that is one. Secondly, in the healthcare industry also, it is helping greatly with patients. Patients undergoing painful procedures. A simple example can be vaccinations. It's literally it's a 5-second job, but the noise is can continue for several minutes, it has a lot of effects. The whole corridors starts to be noisy. The other kids start hearing you as well. So if we can avoid that in some way, then why not? Even in literally other painful procedures, such as kids or adults undergoing chemotherapy or going dialysis, which is a kidney procedure, which is quite painful. And currently we do use distraction therapy with TV screens, with magazines, but it's not 100% effective. We have designed a very, very beautiful experience where burns patient really, some of them go through tremendous pain and they require a very, very strong analgesia, painkillers. So having them distracted with virtual reality where they're playing a game in the snow has eventually proven that they needed lesser medication. So it was an amazing experience. Secondly, other than healthcare, we are extensively using it in the education sector. So we have had numerous success examples in the education industry. If I can narrow it down, I would say that immersive technologies has helped students to be engaged with the lesson to up to 100% without any other distraction. This, since they are practicing, since they're visiting the places in real time, it also helps them to retain the knowledge better. Compared to conventional method, the knowledge retention was increased to over 90%. And of course, if knowledge retention is increased, if engagement is increased, then the results also improve. So students today across the region, especially here in the UAE, they're using it in all subjects. They're using it in mathematics, in history, in geography, in learning languages. Also, they have also started to communicate remotely with the students from other countries, which is a beautiful, beautiful experience. So here students in Dubai have had sessions with the students from schools in Italy. Also, they've had experiences with schools from developing countries. So it was a very nice and motivating experience.
It's very fascinating to see technology from this different perspective. Very often you refer not just to artificial intelligence, but to human intelligence. So where are the boundaries and how to balance the two?
I cannot emphasize enough on the human intelligence. I really, really believe that, and this is the reality, by the way, see, all the progress and the success that we did it now, it is because of the human intelligence. And for me, it is all positive. There is no growth if you are static, right? So everything that we have invented as human, it means that we have learned so much about science, about knowledge, about the human body, about the universe, that helps us to move a step forward. Of course, there are pros and cons of everything, every new technology. However, it is up to us how do we direct it. So I really believe that the current era that we are living, fourth industrial revolution, literally stands for intelligence. And I do not define it as artificial. I define it as intelligence as a whole, and which is about a beautiful synergy between human and machinery. We have multiple examples where actually machine intelligence has been helping human to achieve and improve their own working. Because we, in our normal capacity, we do have a limit. One simple example is, again, I will refer to the current time of COVID-19. There has been an increased use of artificial intelligence. One simple example, if I can give you, is that artificial intelligence has literally helped us to understand and to translate the massive data that has been collected. What does that mean? That means that imagine if I give you a task, let's say both of us are researchers or scientists, and both of us are working to understand what is the common age, and we are reading millions and millions of files which are ever increasing, and we are understanding the patterns manually. We are understanding the most common age for a certain disease, the most common risk factors, their geographical area, the eating habits, the sleeping habits, etc. All of that. Of course, it's going to be challenging because the population is huge and then you have a daily increase, right? So how about if you have a tool that is not doing anything, it's only making everything organized for you. Why? So you can actually look at the big picture and then do your job better. What is your job? Your job is not to be tangled with, the machine work, which is a repetition, which is not actually involving any creativity. Our major benefit as human is to understand the pattern, right? And think about how we can help that. If there is a pattern in a certain geographical area and I know about it, it will help me to fix it better. I know that area is more susceptible to a certain challenge, and here is going to be my knowledge to create and understand how I can solve it. So I am very, very positive about this beautiful era that we're living in, and hopefully we will see that in the future times it is only going to be proving very beneficial to us. One very important example also that I would like to mention here is that with the advancement of medical treatments and offerings and the current scenario, we have seen an increase in the life expectancy around the world, which is something beautiful. If our elderly get to live longer with us, everybody wants that. However, that also means that we have a larger number of elderly who require care. And since we are busy with our working, who's going to do that? So for that, we have in a number of countries and hospitals, we do have some robots, which we call them social robots, who can help you with basic tasks, such as reminding you about a medicine, such as probably helping you from the bed to the kitchen, for example. So these are basic things, and actually giving us a very beautiful example of again, I keep talking about the synergy between human and machine intelligence.
Dr. Sana, thank you for this. It's very reassuring. So how is the future that you foresee for yourself and for the society?
As I said, and I always say that I am very optimistic about the current times, especially with all the innovation, with all the growth and the progress that we have made in the past years. So I believe that the future, for me being part of this society, is going to teach us more about collaboration and growing by helping each other. Why is that? Essentially because I really see that a lot of the tedious tasks, they are being accomplished by machines, by artificial intelligence, which is helping us to have more human time, more creative time. And for me, this is very essential. So this is what I feel today. In today's time, once A simple example is of school teachers. Once the school teachers are having help with their tedious tasks of corrections, of doing the repetition work, if they have help with that, they will be able to design their lessons better, and they're already doing that. I know some of the teachers who have enough time that even after their regular classes, they started distance learning, and they're helping developing school students. So this is a beautiful example. Another thing is that if I talk about healthcare, similarly, we have been spending a great deal of time in documentation, just because that is essential. If any patient comes, we need to document them. The school records needs to be very well documented. For a number of years, this was being done by humans, but I believe that if we have certain tools that will help us with these creative tasks, us human beings will have more time for creativity, and will have more time to think positively about, let's say, somewhat underprivileged communities, and be able to reach them, and again unite as one human race and help each other. This is what I really envision for the future.
Wonderful. Now, last but not least, our paramount question: what does unlimited mean to you?
First of all, let me tell you what a beautiful word you have chosen for this program to be. And for me personally, as I keep saying, that unlimited to me means exponential growth by dedicating efforts for the betterment of humanity in every field.
Wow, Dr. Sana, it's been a real pleasure having you today. Thank you for bringing your innovative and futuristic approach to Unlimited. Thank you.
I thank you, Daniela, for reaching to me and asking me these questions. I really hope that they do prove to be helpful to whoever listens to them.
Thank you for listening. Please subscribe to Unlimited on your favorite podcast app so you won't miss out on our next stories. To find out more about our content, please log on to our website and follow us on Instagram at unlimited.me to stay up to date with our latest news and releases. Last but not least, because talented mothers and women are truly unlimited, if you have a story to tell, please get in touch through our website www.unlimited.me, unlimited with the hyphen. Thank you.